So, today's video, we have our first couple of games in the Championship with Tranmere Rovers. A club who, as recently as 2018, were outside of the Football League and in the National League, that haven't been in the Championship since 2001, and are predicted by the media to finish rock bottom of the table and go straight back down. How hard can it be? How are you doing, everybody, and welcome to part 14 of Club 2 here on MyCareer on FM23. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video, where we've got Portsmouth in our opening game in the Championship season, and then we'll be having our next game against Cardiff, and we're hoping that we can get off to a reasonable start. I'm not expecting to win both games. I'm not expecting to win either of them, but it would be nice to leave this episode with a point. And if you want to see us leave this episode with a point, then please leave a like on the video for me and subscribe so you never miss any of the lovely Football Manager content from this face right here. Nothing's happened since you were last with us. In fact, all I've done is I've gone and changed my shirt and put a hoodie on so I look a little bit different. I've spoilt the illusion now, and I don't really know why, but yeah, I've literally just press stop record and press start record. We're here and we're ready for our first game of the season. And this, I think, is going to be the 11 we're going to use. And we're going to hope it's going to be enough. Apologies, just had to tweak a couple of things, namely the bench. 7-man benches kill me when I've done saves with 9-man benches, but we have got the 7-man bench all set up. Does mean a few of the new boys will miss out. For example, Iacovitti and Penny currently missing out. To be fair, do they have to miss out? Do they actually have to? Pape is going to come off the bench, and we're going to put Iacovitti on. We're going to put him there just because, in a nice possible way, we spent money on him. He should get a game. But this is the 11 we're going to be using to have Portsmouth visit us in our first Championship game ever in the save. This is Bergstrom in goal, Pollock, Barnes and O'Brien in defence, Lyons, Foster, Doyle, Shackleton and Coulson as that 4 across the midfield. We have dropped the midfielders back this season, remember. We're going with 2 defensive midfielders, but they're going to be pushing forward. We're going to see how that goes, and if it doesn't look like it's good, we'll push 1 or 2 of them forward and see how it goes. And then the front line, you already know if you've watched the save before, it's Lee and Knight supporting Emerson up front. I have got absolutely no idea how this is going to go. I'm going to drop an emergency save just in case. You never know. I've experienced power cuts while I've been playing in the past, so hopefully that isn't going to happen. But we're going to go for that. And let's just see what happens. This is a team that we've got a chance against because I do believe I am right in saying that Portsmouth were promoted with us last season. I've kind of forgotten, but I'm pretty sure they did. I mean, it's not that long ago since I played it, so I should really remember. But I'm like 99% certain that we played Portsmouth twice. In fact, I know that we did, so I don't know why I'm doubting it. In fact, let's just check. Where did Portsmouth finish last season? Let's just double check. That's the wrong thing, Stu. You're looking at the wrong thing there, mate. Let's have a look. Portsmouth. Where did they finish last season? I feel like they finished in playoff places. So they're in the Championship. We played them in one of the cups, didn't we? They finished it. They were in the Championship last season. Okay. To be honest, that's okay. I think they were a lower Championship team. They were literally the last team that could have got relegated, and they didn't. Derby, Blackpool, and Ipswich all going down. Okay. That doesn't change a lot because they should be a similar quality to the teams that came up. So I think we've got an opportunity here. And we just need to be bold enough to take it. We need Doyle and Shackleton to start developing that partnership. We need Ben Knight and Tommy Doyle to support Emerson enough to the point where they start to get things going like they did last season. Coulson with a pass to Lee here. Lee can't do anything with it, but manages to keep possession. Coulson whips in, looking for the head of Emerson, finds the head of Emerson, and it's just over the bar. Good early signs from Tranmere. We are, of course, in our new stadium. I think it's the Tranmere Rovers Stadium or just the Tranmere Stadium. I'm not sure which one it is. Really inventive name. It looks like a stadium in Football Manager. I wish there was a bit more variety in the stadiums in Football Manager. It's not like an end of the world thing, but I really wish that there was a bit more variety, and I wish that we hadn't gone 1-0 down. That's frustrating. But again, we have to remember, as we've just discovered, the team that was in the Championship last season. So they are doing what we want to do, which is they are having a second season in the Championship. We want to do what they're doing. But we need to play a little bit better. In fact, we've played really well. It's not even that we need to play better. We just need to convert a bit more. Zach's having a good game. The 2 shadow strikers are not having the best time. Jamie Shackleton's struggling out there, as is Lyons Foster. We just need a little bit of spark just to get us over the line. They're playing a very similar system to us, probably a bit more dynamic if we're being completely honest. And at half-time, we do trail by 1-0. We're going to tell them to show us something else. We're going to tell defence that they're not doing well enough. Happy with the playmaking efforts. And we're going to tell Zach Emerson to keep going. Ben Knight is apprehensive. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It's early, I know, but we're just going to see what happens. In fact, we're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it this way. I just want to see what happens if we go to this system for the second half. Will it do anything? Let's see whether it will. We're not going to make any substitutions. We can make them later on. We're going to leave it at this for now. We're going to see whether just pushing up, we lessen the gap between our midfield and the forwards and see whether we can just get a few more chances on target and get it in the back of the net. That's what I'm hoping. Right, Lance Foster isn't able to cross there. Sibley gets it forward, but only as far as Shackleton. Now we have a chance. Coulson looking to cross the ball in. Goes out wide, looking to get that space for the cross. Whips it in, looking for Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee hits the post, and we just can't get onto the rebound, but it's only as far as Lance Foster. Lance Foster, I don't know what he went for, but he shouldn't have. We have some glorious chances in this game so far, some absolute sitters, and we're just not taking them, and I'm a bit concerned. Right, Shackleton on the ball now, running forward, looking for options up ahead of him, cuts back, goes to O'Brien. O'Brien, part of that defence that was so good last season, looking for Ben Knight. Ben Knight doesn't even try to head the ball, and I'm a bit disappointed in him, but he's actually the better of the two shadow strikers. Tommy Lee, the one struggling at the moment. Right, Coulson now with options, looking to get the ball onto Emerson. Emerson, though, doesn't really read the... His intelligence in making his runs is not necessarily the best. He has a good run every now and then, but not very often. It's a ball over the top, which they've just done us again, and it's over the top, and it's so frustrating. We're going to drop the defence off a little bit more in the hope we can stop that, because they are just cutting us apart from the outside. We're trying to stop the crosses in, but they're just getting these lofted balls over instead. And it's now 2-0. And I think this game's away from us. I'm going to demand more from the team. We're going to go attacking. And we have to make some changes because it's just not going well at the moment. Right, Jamie Shackleton's had a poor debut. Apaya Forson is going to come on to try and steady things. Lance Foster's going to come off for Darbo. Shackleton can play at right wing back as well. That's an interesting thing to remember. The keeper's had a shocker on his debut too. He looks so good, but he's not had a good one. And I think Balagizi's going to come on too. And we'll hope he can give us a little bit of magic. And we'll leave it at that for now. Triple change on the 72nd minute. Let's see whether we can get something going. Right, Doyle into Knight. Knight, can he get something going? Goes to Lance Foster. Of course, he's going to be subbed off very, very soon. Looking to cross it in. Looking for the head of Emerson. Finds the head of Emerson. He hits the post. How unlucky can we be in this game? We've been in some great positions. We've had some great chances. And they either go wide, hit the post, go over. We're so unlucky. And I think this game is away from us here. I think this game is going to be away from us. Tommy Doyle's not had a good one either. Matty Daly's going to come on. Ben Knight's not had a good one, but we can't do anything else. In fact, we can. We're going to bring Amari Benjamin on. And Emerson's going to get some support from Amari Benjamin. These two have worked reasonably well as a forward line in the past. I think they have anyway. I can't remember actually whether Amari Benjamin was actually the replacement when we lost Zach Emerson at the end of his loan deal. I can't actually remember off the top of my head. We're demanding more in the last couple of minutes, but that is the game, I think. We should have won that game. We should be absolutely disgusted with ourselves. I am furious at them. Not good enough from the strikers. Not good enough from the midfielders. Not good enough from the defence. We let that happen. Lucas Bergstrom had a really, really poor debut there. And I'm quite angry about that. Not because we lost, because I'll be completely clear. I'm not expecting this to be a very positive season. We've won every league we've been in so far with either of the teams that we've been in this save. I'm not expecting us to go up this season. I'm not expecting us to challenge for the playoffs or anything. I'm not even expecting top half. I'm expecting it to be a slog. But when we dominate the game that we just have, in the way that we did, even on XG, and we don't pull the ball in the back of the net once, it's a bit concerning. We let Sam Smith have too much there. They went over the top of us twice. I think the first one was over the top of us. And it's a concern that that defensive line let that happen. It's a concern as well that Bergstrom didn't have a good game. And he's now trying to say that he did a decent thing. Oh, goodness me. Right, it's fine. It's one game in. We've got Forest Green coming up. They're a League 2 side. We're hopefully going to batter them. I really would like us to batter them. Fingers crossed we do, and fingers crossed things pick up when we have Cardiff. And as I said that out loud, it just... Oh. Shouldn't have signed that new contract, should I? Well, after a decent performance against Forest Green Rovers, where we did win and go through to the next round of the EFL, Carabao Cup, whatever you want to call it, which we've got a game against Premier League Crystal Palace, we are now here ready for the Cardiff game. That game was 2-0, by the way. Hayden Coulson getting his first goal for the club, and Zach Emerson opening his account for the season as well, which was good to see. So, the Cardiff game. This is the 11 we're going to be using, and we're also going back to the system with the 2 central midfielders as opposed to the 2 central defensive midfielders. I am going to put, I think we'll put Kapakpe on the bench instead of the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper we normally use at the moment as a backup until we get a proper one in is currently unavailable because he played in the under-21. So, this is the 11 we're going to be using. Bergstrom in goal, Pollock, Barnes and O'Brien in defence. Darbo and Coulson as the wing-backs, with Doyle and Shackleton in the middle, supporting Balagizi and Lee, who are in turn supporting Emerson up front. Let's see whether we can get a point or 2 or 3. We're not going to get 2. That's impossible, Stu. But let's see whether we can do something. We played well in that first game. We just could not get the ball in the back of the net. A lot of the highlights we saw were all highlights where the shots were off target, but we know from the match stats we had some that were on target. It did also take us a while in the game against Forest Green to actually get the ball in the back of the net. But once it did, we felt very comfortable from that point. We got the second goal very quickly after. Everything looked fine. We're hoping for similar to happen today. Of course, we are playing against a team who are championship regulars in Cardiff. We should expect this to be a tough one, especially tougher than the Portsmouth game. No offence to Portsmouth, but they were nearly relegated last season. Let's see what we can do. Right, Doyle now. Looking to get the ball forward to Emerson. What a ball that is. And again, Emerson, he just has these moments where he just, for some reason, cannot put the ball in the back of the net. And it's infuriating because we know he's a goal machine, but we also know that can happen, and I don't understand it. He had a great opportunity there. It should be 1-0 to Tranmere Rovers, and for some reason it's not. He's such a good finisher. I don't understand it. Right, Lee now, looking to get the ball forward. He's drifted out wide. Gets it to Coulson. Coulson inside to Doyle. Is Doyle going to go for a banger? He is, and he nearly does it. He scored, I think, for Sheffield United against Blackburn the other day as I'm recording this. So this might be a little bit after that. And it was an absolute banger, and I was having flashbacks of that then. That would have been awesome. That would have been genuinely awesome. Right. Cardiff on the attack here in the next highlight. It's been an action-packed first 20 minutes, but no goals yet. One might be coming now. Simpson looking to get it forward. Gets to O'Shea instead. Back to Simpson. Passing it around nicely, Cardiff, but they're not making any headway at the moment, but you would expect that to change. We're going to have to try and press and just get the ball off of them. At the moment, it's not happening. Right, Atkinson. Lee with a great tackle there, and all of a sudden we have the opportunity to counter. Balagizi goes to Doyle, but he's not put enough weight on the pass, and all of a sudden Cardiff have another chance. Fagan now running down their left-hand side. We can't intercept. Can we defend it? It is a header away from O'Brien, but not far enough. It's whipped back in, and Robinson is there, and we concede, and it is 1-0 to Cardiff. Very disappointing, because we could have stopped that from happening. It's a poor pass from Balagizi that's put us in the problems there. Decent attempt at the tackle there. We thought we'd cleared it with O'Brien, but he only gets it as far out as their wing-back, or I think he is their full-back, to be fair. Whips it in, and we just do not pick up that run. And I'm just not very happy with how sloppy some of our play was there. Balagizi in particular should be pretty ashamed of himself. A few of our players are not playing well at all, actually. Again, you'd expect this to be a bit more of a challenge than certainly the Portsmouth game, but it's a regular championship team who do every now and then get promoted to the Premier League. And Jamie Shackleton went for the worldie. He's won us a corner. And let's see whether we can do something with this. We are playing for set pieces. I'm still not in charge of training. I still don't have my Continental Pro license. And Balagizi's left it. What has Balagizi done there? Emerson heads it across goal, and all Balagizi's got to do is get something on it, and it probably goes in. And he just doesn't bother. What is the point of him? And O'Brien with the sloppy pass again. And it's 2. And it's because of sloppy passing. Oh, I'm so angry because we've done so well to get up to the championship. And our passing is just woeful. Robinson drives forward. O'Brien wins it. Gets it to Lee. But Lee as well could be doing better. And I'm berating the boys because we shouldn't be 2 goals down. But we've done it to ourselves. We've done it to ourselves. Right, Balagizi, can he redeem himself for his mistake? Yes, he can, actually. James Balagizi, the former Liverpool man, has got us a goal back. So there might be a route back into this game yet. Maybe. Probably not, let's be honest. I'm not even watching the highlight. I'm not even... The highlight associates with good things. Right. I'm furious with our defence. I'm not happy with our midfield. And we need to step things up in front of goal. Right. I think actually Pollock's coming off. Simple as that. Pollock is coming off. Pape's coming on. O'Brien and him are swapping around. We're going with the traditional back 3 from last year. Simple as that. Darbo's coming off. No, he's not because we don't have another fullback on the bench. In fact, actually, Shackleton's going to go there. Apaya Forson's coming on as the ball winner. And I think Tommy Lee's going to come off. He's not had a good game, and Ben Knight's going to get a chance. Ben Knight is going to get a chance. Right, let's make sure they can take more risks off. Just changing a bunch of stuff just to see whether it does anything. To be fair, Balagizi's been okay, so we didn't really need to change him. Right, fire up. Come on, boys. We're good enough to get something from this game. We are good enough to get something from this game. Bergstrom manages to save it. He's not had a good start to his Tranmere career, Bergstrom. He had some really good seasons with Derby, and I forget who the other team was, but Derby was... It might have been Peterborough, but Derby was the one that jumped out to me. The season he had with Derby in League One was incredible. He looks every bit of the goalkeeper that Okonkwo was, but he just isn't fazed by big games. Ben Knight might be in here, and Ben Knight has got an equaliser off the bench. Ben Knight has gone and done it. And we're level. We are level. And one of the personnel changes has worked. Emerson gets the ball here. He drops deep enough. Looks around the corner to Apaya Forson, who's come off the bench, the vice-captain. And what a ball that is to Ben Knight. He's not been playing as the playmaker, Apaya Forson. And the goalkeeper can't do anything. He's caught in no man's land. And we equalise. And immediately Cardiff have a corner. And I'm a bit concerned, because I've got a feeling they're going to hit back straight away, when actually we need to keep the pressure up. Right, it's headed out only as far as Bagan. Bagan now looking for options. Gets to Rawls. Rawls. It's poor. It's poor. It's poor. O'Brien manages to deal with it in combined with Bergstrom though, and Emerson flicks it on. But he flicks it on to no one because he was the furthest player forward. Why he was the furthest player forward, I don't know, because I've reset our set piece instructions and he really shouldn't have been. Right, Shackleton, I feel like we need to have a chat with you. I tell you to calm down. Same with the Apaya Forson. Don't want any nonsense happening. Right, Shackleton looking to get it forward to Emerson. Emerson heads it down. Ben Knight now looking to get forward. He goes out wide. We know he likes to play out wide. We've got him playing almost as a false winger. Whips it in, looking for the head of Emerson, but it goes all the way out to Coulson. Gets it into Balagizi, who started to come back off. Apaya Forson, Coulson, who did score in that cup game against Forest Green Rovers. And Ben Knight, what a goal that is from Ben Knight. What a strike that is. We're only in the 54th minute, but we've turned things around in this game. Apaya Forson to Coulson. Coulson looking for options. Goes back to the vice-captain. Out to Doyle. Doyle gets it into Ben Knight. Gets it down and just curls one in. It's a beautiful goal from the former, I think, Manchester City boy. I forget where he's from. Who we picked up on a free last season. Took a while to get going for us last season. But when he got going, he got going. I was going to demand a bit more. We're not going to demand a bit more. They have a free kick here, which is quite dangerous, but it does go over via the bar, I think. And we can breathe a little bit. I'm going to demand more from the boys when we can. I'm just going to keep clicking it. We've got a corner. We have got a corner. Can we convert this and make it 4-2? Headed out. Only headed out as a Apaya Forson, though. Over to Doyle now. Doyle now looking to get the ball in. Gets it to Coulson. Coulson went for a goal, and Hayden Coulson, his second goal in as many games. The goalkeeper fumbles it, and all of a sudden we go from 2-0 down to 4-2 up. The comeback of dreams. Wow, I did not expect that to happen. Doyle out wide, looking for options, goes to the wing back, who just decides to drill it, and the keeper just makes an absolute pig's ear of it, and we lead by 4-2. Lovely stuff. Oh, that makes me feel so much better about this team. But it's weird, we're doing it to a championship team who are an established championship team. We couldn't do it to a team who were nearly relegated last season, but I suppose they've got more to prove this season, haven't they? Right, Shackleton is going to come off. He is absolutely shattered. We do not have Lyons Foster on the bench, so Matt Penny's going to come on, and he'll just have to do a job. Now, do you know what? Shackleton is tired, but he's going to have to stay there. He's going to have to deal with it. Quite frankly, he's going to have to deal with it. I'm tempted to take Emerson off and bring Amari Benjamin on, just for the running. Just for the running in behind. And on that, we're going to distribute over the defence. And we're just going to see whether we can just get them on the hop like that. And we do have one change left. I'm going to leave it for a few minutes. I do want to make sure that the players are being sensible here. Because in the nicest possible way, we don't want anything silly to happen. Let's just tell all those three that they need to be careful. And I'm just going to tell the other ones, we want more from them. Might seem like a silly thing to do. I want them to know that they cannot let up at any point. And Hayden Coulson is injured. Fortunately, Matt Penny's on the bench, but that's a problem. What's the injury? Central foot injury. Well, we were looking to make a substitution anyway. It's been taken out of our hands. It's not the one I would have made. I would have probably done one of the centre-backs. But it is what it is. And we just now try and see the game out. We have mugged them on XG at this point. O'Brien heads it out, looking for Rooney. But Balagizi gets on the end of it. And Balagizi might be leading a counter-attack here. Holds the ball up for Jamie Shackleton, who's been superb. I mean, the rating doesn't say it. But everything I've seen of him at right wing-back, he's been fantastic. Maybe we need to rethink his position. Right, Ben Knight, out to Apaya Forson. Looking for Benjamin. Benjamin loses the ball, though. First touch. Back in a Tranmere shirt, and he loses the ball, and all of a sudden Atkinson could get another goal, and he's fumbled it. He's hit the post, similar to how Emerson did in the first half, and we get away with it. We're into injury time here. There's 5 minutes of it, and we get the win. Our second game, our first away game, and we hit 4 goals in a row. Ben Knight with 2 of them. His substitution performance definitely was the catalyst of the big comeback. We did score 1 goal before that, and it has to be said, that was a good performance. I'm telling those players that they've not done well. I'm telling Jamie Shackleton he wasn't good enough, even though actually what I saw of him wasn't that bad. Amari Benjamin was not good either. But the performance was everything we needed in terms of once we hit half-time, we turned things around and we showed we can compete at this level. The Cardiff team, who I don't really know, so they've been a mid-table Cardiff team for a while, and they're predicted this season to finish more the same, mid-table. The odds have already narrowed. We're still bottom by the odds, but the odds have already narrowed. It's happening. It is happening. Right, now let's have a think, shall we? When do we want to come back? And what games do we want to see? Then we'll go through the rest of August as we normally do. We'll go through September as well. And we'll go through October. And we'll try and come back somewhere in November. We'll try and get through this season a bit quicker because it is going to be a mid-table season if we're lucky. We're currently mid-table. We're currently 10th. But somewhere in the end of October, beginning of November. I think that's the plan. I think that's what we'll do. And we'll try and get the squad finished by then and try and get those last couple of players in. Just as a reminder, we don't know who the goalkeeper is going to be, but we are looking at Isaac Hansen-Aaron and also this guy, Gatiana Oristanio. I'll get there. We're looking at signing these 2 guys. We were looking at signing one of them, and actually the wages, we don't have to pay anything for Oristanio. Aaron, we only have to play if we don't. We have to pay if we don't play him. So what I'm thinking is we might actually bring both of them in, try and balance that, and hopefully not upset United and Everton. And if we can do that, I think we'll have 2 very good players. Because actually, Isaac Hansen-Aaron can play in the middle. He can play as a playmaker. He can do a decent job there. He can play as a few things, actually. So I think he could be a decent player to bring in. But that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to leave a like on there for me. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss any of the lovely Football Manager content to come in the future. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.